All right, well, welcome to the After Midnight podcast,
What
brought to you by BlueChew.com. Sorry, I'm just going to keep doing that
No,
joke.
but I think the reason why the archive always has like extra slipcovers is because like they get returns back where people like find like a dent in their slipcover and they just send it back for return, and like a lot of the times the archive will just put it out for sale because it's like, you know, somebody's like, oh, like there's a small scratch in the back part of my slipcover, like I want a refund.
You might actually be onto something because there's that little tiny, you know about that little white chip,
Yeah.
the little white chip in the corner.
Yeah, dude.
Somebody was like, this thing's damaged. I got to put it away.
It's not mint anymore.
Yeah. Thank God for that, though, because I got that Amicus Severin box set there. It was like the last one.
I got a Blu-ray of Snapshot with the slipcover like
go.
last year.
There you go, dude.
I got a gun.
I got a firearm at the archive.
For all you Massachusetts lawyers, Ethan is not carrying heat out of the parking lot.
No,
Right,
he's-
I'm carrying 2 heats.
I'm carrying 2 heats. Yeah, dude, that Coolidge renovation just looks fucking terrible now. It looks like it looks
okay.
like a giant piece of toilet paper.
Do my
roll.
eyes,
It
do
doesn't
my
look
eyes
good.
deceive me, or is it like I noticed it walking down the street over there like last week, and it was the first time I ever noticed it like being above the building? Is that like,
Oh
just
shit!
now?
Yeah. I think that was before,
No,
but
that's been there for a while, but they're filling that area in now, so it's more visible when you're going down the street.
damn, it's
Because I
so
saw that
big.
little bit of white right there, and I was like, oh fuck, it's
'Cause
growing.
they put everything up like, you know, weeks and weeks ago, but now they're actually like, since they're adding like stuff to the sides, you can really
I
notice
can't
it.
wait to go to that classroom and learn about Metropolis. Just like the
I
concept.
can't
art
wait to go to
showed.
the Tails room and go look at the Vice poster.
Yeah, you mean learn about Vice, don't you?
No, I'm all about the Knuckles room. all right?
Knuckles room is the one I'm excited for, honestly. I think the Knuckles room is sick. The Sonic room is alright.
I saw Mark and I talked to him at Boston Comic Con. He said that they weren't going to get rid of the old marquee.
Really? Because
The concept art shows it's
I hope
gone.
the way
I hope they keep it.
He told me that somebody fell off a ladder, so now you have to use a suction cup to get up there.
Well, the way I've been hearing about it is they're actually gonna update it with LEDs to where it's still gonna have like the same structure, but
Yeah.
Well, the LEDs still kill it. You need your little marquee letters.
do any of the suction cups work?
No.
Yeah.
It's all changing that thing is fucking
What's-
obnoxious.
what's-
That being said, I do love the aesthetic
What's
of it, so
cheaper?
I'm like,
Putting LEDs up there and buying some new suction cups.
I just
Get,
remember
some new,
one.
get the kids some new suction
There
cups.
Get 'em
was
some new
one
cups.
time I
Let the
came.
kid go see cats.
There was one fucking time
We
I
do have
came
to buy
over
new
here.
letters like every once in a while because
Yeah.
like the old ones will get dirty from like
Outside exposure.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's what happened because one time it was like the winter time, and I came in and I was like walking over and like somebody was trying to put in like one letter comically just kept falling off.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like 3 times in a row.
That happened to be the first time I ever did marquee. It took me like 2 hours.
It's a character thing though, because
Yeah.
they're not making any new marquees like that. That's not a thing that happens anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the same with like the window box office where I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I want to keep it because it's like, it sounds like us in the Brattle. Somerville doesn't fucking use theirs
Yeah,
anymore.
even the Somerville still has their marquee, but they lost their window box office a long time ago.
Yeah.
So like,
And I want to say it's like, the actual window, like the infrastructure is still there. They just never use it.
well,
I think
from
it's
what
an
I saw,
office.
the windows are there from the outside, but on the inside, that's Ian's office.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it
it's like
is.
boarded up. So it's like
Yeah.
kind of funky.
Yeah.
I love thinking that those little those little Pezzes that are lining the window are all Ian's.
I think they are. Ian
probably
strikes.
are.
Ian strikes me as a Pez collector. Yeah, many a Pez.
He has that the Hobbit Desolation of Smaug Pez collection.
What?
That exists.
Does he really?
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I'm just making a joke, but there is a Hobbit Pez collection.
Yeah.
I saw that.
You own it?
No,
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Does it sit right next to Bullet Train and Grand Hotel?
Heath has the bullet train Pez collection.
I'd buy the shit out of that.
That's all Ryan Reynolds.
I do respect that you love this movie. That everyone is like very like this is not good, but you
This is-
unabashedly love it.
I like it on the same level. I'm defending it on the same level of Death on the Nile.
Get the fuck out of here.
I think they're both vastly underappreciated.
They shot Bullet Train on 65 millimeter.
No, Death on the
There's
new
an
Death on
origin
the
story
Mile.
for
I'm
Poirot's
assuming.
mustache and Bullet Train.
Brad Pitt's mustache.
Right. Of course.
I did not enjoy that new Death on the Mile Death on the Nile at all. Death on the Mile.
I
a
don't
sequel
think it's.
to
I
8
don't-
Mile.
I don't think it's great, but I Look, it's a Poirot movie. It's like it's impossible for me to not at least be like, yeah, it's cozy.
Yeah, but you're a detective boy,
I like
so you
detectives,
just love it.
I like little gray cells.
Gal Gadot going full bozo mode in that movie is so entertaining.
The most canceled cast of recent history. Like everyone, you got a cannibal, you got Gal Gadot, a Zionist.
What's really funny is Armie Hammer kind of good in that movie.
Yeah, kind of
he's pretty
good.
Yeah.
Scared whenever he got hungry on set, but
Oh, yeah.
like good actor, I guess.
Russell Brand.
Yeah, he
I mean,
starts looking
Russell
at-
Brand, crazy YouTube Joe Rogan protege. Yeah, everyone's canceled. Black Panther girl was an anti-vax. Like everyone.
That's the reason they shot Armie Hammer on like green screen for parts of Social Network, because you get too hungry and go.
Yeah, it started looking at Jesse Eisenberg, and he would like turn into like a cartoon steak with feet.
Originally, the twins had another actor, but he ate that other actor, so it just doubled him.
He'd start putting on a bib and licking his lips.
Yeah, dude, that Armie Hammer story, that's a lot to process.
Well, it seems like every year we get a new celebrity that ups
Who's a
the-
cannibal?
No, well, that
it was-
ups the crazy.
Okay.
I thought it was really funny that when like the cannibal stuff initially came out, like a lot of people were going like pushing back against it, saying like, "Don't kink shame." Like,
Don't kink shame. Eating another human being.
Being a cannibal is a perfectly normal kink, and then it came out that he abused people, and then everybody turned on him because
Yeah.
Oh, because Bob Odenkirk and Armie Hammer, same level of like kink shame.
Yeah.
no,
Absolutely.
what happened with Bob Odenkirk?
Was he a
Oh, he was
cannibal?
following a foot account on Instagram, and people like shamed him out of like into like unfollowing it. Everyone's like, he's given the performance of his career every week. Let him follow the feed account.
It's a big difference than like trying to eat other human beings.
Yeah.
I can't wait
it's
to
a
see
harmless
Bob
fetish.
Odenkirk in the next Tarantino.
Yeah.
See you in the next.
Wait.
You made the joke. It's very funny. Yeah.
Tarantino's like, yes, another one.
I got one.
Tarantino just slides into his DMs like, "Hey Bob, I saw you following him on Instagram. I really like that account, man. I followed him for years, man."
So I just decided one day to start watching Better Call Saul because my friend Ethan told me to check it out.
He said,
Right?
get this, if Breaking Bad is Goodfellas, all right, then Better Call Saul is Casino. And that got me thinking, man, this Ethan cat seems to know what he's talking about.
I fucking love Casino. All right, I fucking love it.
No, it's like the cool B-side to Goodfellas, all right? So Better Call Saul, all right, is the cool B-side to Breaking Bad. I gotta check it out.
I disagree with Tarantino's opinions on a few things. Specifically, he does not like Last Crusade. He says it's boring. I don't agree
It's
with
my
that.
least. It's my least favorite of at least of the first three, but I like it.
He said
It's no Temple of Doom, but
Are you the Temple of Doom?
I'm a Temple of Doom guy.
I think Temple
That's
of
my
Doom.
favorite one.
I think Temple of Doom has the best opening, but I think there is diminishing returns as it goes along.
Oh,
sadly.
see, I love that it goes more and more insane. It has my favorite third act of all of them.
I don't
love the
know. It
third
just
act of
doesn't
Temple
engage
of-
me.
I like that Indy is a psychopath in that movie. It's awesome. I love that the villain is terrified of Indiana Jones for the entire third act.
I love the
think it's
Busby
great.
Berkeley opening. I think
Oh,
that's
it's great.
Spielberg like flexing
Wonderful.
a muscle that he doesn't get to use a lot.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I
Anything
love Temple.
goes.
It's got the best Indy one-liners. You know.
Oh, he's wearing that fucking suit. It's so suave.
Say
and cool.
hello to Kali in hell.
No, I love Last Crusade though. I think
We are going to die.
That is
Nice try, Lo Chan.
low chan airplanes.
I
You
mean,
betrayed Shiva, Kali Ma.
I think it's
Great.
all a bit
Awesome
silly
movie.
because all three of the original Indiana Jones are great.
Yeah.
I don't dislike any of them, but it's just weird to hear an Indiana Jones movie called boring is just like
Yeah,
odd
it's
to
weird.
me.
I granted, I mean, like I'm a Crystal Skull defender. I think like
Get the fuck out.
I think like 80% of Crystal Skull kind of rocks, and 20% is like it's
So
whatever.
you're gonna get pissed off at him about Grand Hotel, but you're not gonna touch that Crystal Skull thing.
Crystal Skull's
No,
good.
we've gone into links about Crystal Skull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will say that I love the Darabont draft of that movie.
Yeah, but it's a completely different draft, though.
No, it's essentially the same story, but the beats are like different and like the dialogue's different. Where like
Darabont draft is better.
Yeah.
I think my thing is like most of the things people complain about with Kingdom of Crystal Skull. I kind of like. I like the fridge bit. I think the fridge bit is great. That's classic indie. It's so good. People who complain about that are losers and virgins.
Oh my
But
god. Oh my god.
All right, Desmond.
I
My
think
eyes are rolling so hard right now.
I think I think the alien inclusion is neat. I like they lean into the 50s kind of pulp little vibes there. I think I think they should have stuck with George Lucas's idea and called it Indiana Jones and the Saucer Men. Just really lean into it. No, the only parts of it I don't like is I think LaBeouf is miscast, and I don't like him swinging on the vines with the monkeys. Don't like it.
I think they should have just remade the Man from Planet X, but with Indiana Jones, and then I would have been okay with it.
That would have rocked.
That would have rocked.
I would have been down
And
with that.
then do a remake of Quatermass as the sequel, but with Indiana Jones.
It's also like I can't hate a movie or even dislike a movie that features Shia LaBeouf as a not the fact that Shia LaBeouf, but just Shia LaBeouf dressed as a 50s greaser being pushed into a crowd of 50s jocks, who then push him back into a crowd of identical 50s greasers, and then one of the jocks wearing like color-coded Letterman jackets goes, "Get that greaser!" And then like Johnny B. Good starts playing as they brawl in a cafe. I can't hate
it's
that.
Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
Oh, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, right?
Yeah.
Even better. Even better.
I mean, it also opens with an Elvis song, which is like, it has good needle drops.
Yeah, great
will
needle
say.
drops. Yeah,
Yeah, I need
like
to-
the Gopher.
I need to listen to. I need
Gopher's
to
good.
hear Groundhog.
I just for a series that like does outside inside perfectly.
Yeah.
That one sequence with the fucking quicksand is atrocious. That is like one of the least convincing fucking sets I have seen in an indie film.
But I kind of like it because it gives me the to me. I'm just like this. It looks like an unconvincing like outdoor set in like a 50s movie. I like it.
He's gonna say it reminds him of the Catsman Jungle. That's his fucking defense.
Yes.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
So, the Catsman Jungle.
They should have had that like old jungle stock sound effect from the 30s, where it's like the monkeys going and like it's like it's like
The MGM take from like Trader Horn.
Yeah,
from back in the
Oh,
day.
that would have rocked. Yeah.
Somehow-
Should have been a guy with a tiger loincloth come out. Like, be like, hey,
full
what's going
force.
on over here?
Yeah, back to Tarantino though. I rewatched that very interesting little clip behind the scenes of the Switchblade Sisters DVDs.
Oh,
That thing fucking
infamous.
rocks.
Those are gems.
that thing fucking rocks.
Wasn't that movie great? Didn't I tell you that movie was great? I didn't lie to it. I didn't lie to you, did I?
No, I love the script readings when he's just like, it's like, whoa, all right, okay.
Tarantino is so gung ho as an actor, you kind of have to give it to him for that.
Yeah, I mean, he loves what he's. He loves Switchblade Sisters.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to him.
What was the
Yeah.
first movie they covered on the video podcast?
What are you talking about?
The Roger Avery podcast.
Yes.
Okay, John Ross.
It was I just listened to the Moonraker one, so I'm getting that mixed up. It was like, I think they covered Big Dollhouse and something else. It was it's lost on me.
That may have
Bullet
been.
Train, weirdly.
The recent one was Moonraker and Firefox.
That may have been
Okay.
the clip of Indiana Jones criticism, and maybe it came from that podcast, and I just saw it on YouTube and forgot what it was called.
Because like one of the things that they do in the podcast is they talk about the differences between like all the home video versions. Do they actually commit to that?
Well, actually, no. Actually, Lex G was the one who ended up talking about the different versions of Firefox. Because, like, after that episode of the podcast, everybody on Film Twitter just started rewatching Firefox. And Lex G talked about how, like, the HBO cut was, like, a different length. And, like, he thought that was the, like, true cut of the movie for years until it finally came out on home video.
Do they talk about like different laser disc versions?
Laser disc.
They only talk about like the videotapes that the Video Archive had, because
of course.
Tarantino, like when Video Archives went out of business, Tarantino bought all of their VHS tapes.
Oh wow!
And for the podcast, like they're actually watching like those original tapes.
Of course.
So they're more like talking about like those actual tapes, and not like the difference between like the CBS Fox version and like the Paramount tape.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little more like personal than like a technical breakdown.
No,
okay.
it's a very personal podcast.
Yeah, because I found a YouTuber who does like the most technical comparisons. He's doing the Kino 4Ks of the Dollars trilogy, and he was comparing every Laserdisc, every tape, and every DVD and every Blu-ray. And boy, oh boy, There was
Was
a-
it like an hour long? Because you could
It
have
was
a
like
fucking
I didn't watch.
field day with
no,
those.
it was
those
definitely
films.
like an hour and a half. It was actually pretty
Which
fascinating.
YouTuber is this? This is the guy who did those G.I. Joe PSAs in 2006.
No, it's called something about a damn idealistic crusade or something.
Does it top,
Oh, I've seen the guy recommended me. Yeah.
Okay.
does
Yeah,
it
yeah,
top
yeah.
my Matrix comparisons?
Yes.
Whoa.
Because he goes into every laser disc and like he really knows his fucking laser discs.
Keep in mind the 4K transfers of the Dollars trilogy have not gotten HDR masters, so we're in for another round of Dollars discourse because
I love the
Because
Dollars movies. I'm fine.
I got
yeah.
I got an import of the 4K of Good, the Bad, the Ugly from Italy, which is the extended version, because the Kino that got put out here is like the theatrical cut.
It wasn't
and-
both cuts.
No, it was just the theatrical because they took a vote. They're like, consumers can either get one or the other, and I'm like, fuck that, extended cut or bust. So I got it in from Italy, and I was wondering like, did they do like an HDR transfer for this? And I popped it in, and like the HDR thing didn't come up. So I'm like, oh shit. So like, the actual like master the Italians did, it wasn't HDR.
I
it
don't.
was- it
Just
was
because it
4K.
doesn't pop up in your TV may not be like definitive, but
No, it's definitely
It's-
not mastered
yeah?
for HDR.
okay.
You have to go back to the original master that the old Italians did, the one that Julius Caesar did. That's like that's where you get the correct grade.
When it was on a double bill with Caligula.
Yeah, Nero tried to bury it afterwards, but it was, you know, yeah.
Caligula reincarnated as the man with no name.
There you go.
Didn't Severance just release like Caligula's sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the story, Ethan? As the resident Caligula expert,
Well,
Right,
what's
of
the
course.
story with?
No. This is actually like information that could put somebody away in prison.
Okay, well, I'm just asking him. What's the story?
I
with
won't
the
tell
Calig-
that one.
Okay.
I'm just asking him. What's the story with the Caligula sequel, Jonathan?
Okay.
I don't think that's going to put anyone in prison.
No, because Bruno Mattei is dead.
Yes.
Hey, shocking dark is not a crime.
So technically, Bruno Mattei, I believe in the same year, did 2 Caligula sequels, one of which is a porno.
Okay.
One of which isn't. One of which is terrible, one of which is kind of a blast.
Which one is which?
So Caligula reincarnated as Nero is not a porno, kind of rocks.
Okay.
Caligula reincarnated as Hitler is a porno, sucks ass.
Yo, were they like aping like Sallow's Success as a Midnight kind of movie?
Yeah,
sort
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's yeah, you could tell which one was the passion project. It was a one for them, one for me type thing. He's like, all right, I'll fucking do your like Caligula Hitler porno, but if you let me, when on the off hours, use the same sets, and I'll do my Caligula reincarnated as Nero movie. And
Okay.
that's
But why like a one for them, one for me with like a franchise? Like you're talking about this like it's the Nolan Batman movie.
Hey, Italy back in the day, they took it seriously.
You gotta understand for Italians.
This isn't
back
Blade 2 and then going off and doing Pan's Labyrinth.
And you gotta understand, for Italians back in 1981, Caligula was like Star Wars.
I like that quote
Empire
right
Strikes
there.
Back wasn't a porno.
Hey,
Dude, look into it. They cut a lot of scenes out.
the Lee Pace draft, bro? Come on, man. That was her name, right? Lee Pace?
Lee Brackett.
Lee Pace is a man.
Lee Price is a man and an actor. Lee Brackett is a gal and a prolific pulp novelist.
Hey, you know what? Names is tough sometimes.
Was
They
the
get
best
mixed.
way,
Lee
Yeah.
Pace would look good in a porno.
Ah, all right.
Lee
thanks.
Brackett would have written an amazing porno. It would have had the best fucking like character and plot structure you've ever seen.
George Lucas is like, hey, I don't know if we can shoot this.
But I was
I'm
a
gonna-
really big fan of those. I was a really big fan of those PI novels that you wrote in 1965. So
I'm gonna ring up Brian and see if there's any way we can do this.
I don't think we should have that scene with the tauntaun. We're still trying to aim this for children.
I was
Can you
talking-
say
I was
something?
just-
You're
I was
just staring
talking
at
to
me
someone.
smoking a cigarette. Like, you're not
I was talking to
blinking.
someone a couple of days earlier today, actually, and he was like, "Yeah, I gotta, it sucks that like Coolidge is doing those Samurai Summer things on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I gotta make it to New Hope, and I'm hoping they play the original cut."
Not gonna
Like
fly.
Not
that's
gonna
gonna
happen,
happen.
dude. Like,
How is that even a
The only way that could
possibility?
happen
Yeah,
is
I'd
if,
like that too. I'd also like to like fly.
the only way they could do that is if they did a mystery movie screening like Godzilla vs. Biollante. Shh, the octopus.
allegedly
Oh yeah, I know.
in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, I saw like the copy Coolidge ordered is the 4K. So
Yeah.
Which 4K though? Because there was.
Okay,
Not
so-
4K 77.
Okay.
Those don't exist. Wink,
Those
wink.
don't exist, but if they did, then it's the way to watch Star
So
Wars.
if
they
I am
exist, which
correct,
they don't.
if I am correct, the Disney 4K standalone releases, the 4K disc is the new master, but the Blu-ray is the 2011 master that 20th Century Fox put out.
Yeah.
So I assume because the Coolidge doesn't have the technology
To play a
to-
4K
to
disc.
rip 4Ks and make DCPs,
Yeah.
they're going to play a DCP of the 2011 transfer.
All right, you heard it here, first, folks, from John Allegretti.
Because there's no McClunky. And
We know for
No
a fact,
McClunky.
no McClunky.
not in the 2011 cut. Because I heard
No
they wanted
McClunky.
to get like a 35 print of like
Audiences
the...
weren't ready yet.
I
Yeah,
heard they
you're
wanted to
right.
get a 35 print of the 97 special edition because like legally that's like the only print they could play, but
Yeah.
apparently they couldn't even get that.
That
so
sucks.
which like, you know, it's still Star Wars. It's
They
I
should
don't
have gotten
know.
Ewoks Caravan of Courage.
Oh, that would
That's
be
the
dope.
one.
Yeah. You get. Oh, what's wrong? What's
No,
wrong,
I'm a
Keith?
Battle for Endor guy.
Oh, okay.
okay, yeah,
Did
yeah.
any of you guys fuck with those cartoons from the 80s? The Ewoks or
Like
Droids
the
cartoons?
droids? No, I watched them when I was a kid on VHS, but even then I was like, yeah, not a fan.
Those
see,
Ewok cartoons are a trip. Bro.
My standards for Star Wars cartoons at the time, especially, was very high because the Gendy Tartakovsky
Gendy.
Clone Wars miniseries had
That
just come
is
out.
my shit. I
Oh,
love
it's the
that.
fucking best,
I didn't
yeah.
have cable when it first started, but by the second series,
Oh, yeah.
we had cable, and boy, oh boy, leading up to Revenge of the Sith,
Oh, it's the best.
and
yeah.
I was so disappointed when I saw Revenge of the Sith.
I was so excited
pissed
when
off.
I heard that General Grievous was gonna be in Revenge of the Sith, and I'm like,
You
oh
got-
no,
you gotta
what did
relay-
you do to him?
You got to relay your baby Desi reaction to fucking Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay. So I loved the
The Gendy
yeah,
Tartakovsky.
I fucking love that. I still love that. I literally was
same.
watching a clip of that like a few nights ago.
It holds up so well.
It holds
It's
up
fucking
great. I love it all. I love that cartoon series. I love Battlefront 2, the game.
Oh yeah,
That came out after the movie, I think, but like, I love it.
Yeah.
Little Dez was so excited for Revenge of the Sith because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Lucas screwed up the first
So,
two.
my 10th birthday.
I
yeah.
was 10 at the time, yeah. But I was like, okay, didn't like these first two, even as a child. I played with the toys.
I loved them as a kid.
I
yeah.
played with them as toys. Didn't like the movies though, but like
I
I was
collected
like,
those Coke or Dr. Pepper cans.
oh, I thought it was Pepsi.
Pepsi cans
Yeah,
with
they-
all the
Oh, I thought it was
characters.
Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
they had a partnership with Pepsi and
The Superior Cola.
M&Ms. They had
And-
Count Dooku M&Ms. I remember eating those all the
and
time.
some
Oh, yeah.
some people when the because they had like all the characters on different Pepsi products, and Sam Jackson was on the Mountain Dew cans.
Oh,
And
yes.
some people actually took a bunch of cans and they cut out the words and they put "bad motherfucker"
yes.
above like Mace Windu holding a lightsaber.
But
Nice.
Little Des was excited. Went to Showcase Cinema Revere. Rest in peace. My childhood theater. Dressed up as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
Little, I went the whole 9 yards. I was so excited.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is the good one. I was watching it.
I can picture that.
I was
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
it, and then the movie ended, and I audibly went, "Well, George Lucas screwed up another one," and my father was like, "Shh, shh, shh." He was like, "Do not, you can't say that," because everybody was like Star Wars fans in the audience. He was like, "You can't do that. That's rude." But yeah, just even as a child,
Your dad shushed you like you were in church.
yeah, it was basically,
Sacrilege!
it was basically like
Right down.
if people enjoy the prequels, I'm totally fine with that. Because
Yeah.
like people grew up with them, and if they like have that connection, I can get it.
Yeah,
But
it's a-
like even as a kid, I thought those movies didn't work. They still don't
Yeah.
work. There's no Star Wars ring theory or any of that nonsense. Like the politics, it's all bullshit.
No, yeah,
But,
it's weird. I really loved them all when I was a kid. Especially weirdly, my favorite was always Attack of the Clones.
You're fucking crazy.
I
You're
thought when I
insane.
was like 7, from when I was like 7 until I was like 9 when Spider-Man 2 came out. During that period, I thought that that Attack of the Clones was the greatest movie I'd ever seen.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man 2 came out, and I was like, Spider-Man 2 is the greatest
Did you
movie I've
have
ever
the
seen.
Geonosis playset?
I did.
Yeah, I fucked with that too. That
Oh,
was pretty dope.
yeah. Oh,
Did you?
big time.
I didn't have all the animals, but I had the like space cat, which rips Natalie
Yeah.
Portman's. I had that.
It's the best monster in that sequence.
It's pretty
great.
cool. And the
Yeah.
toy made a little roaring noise. It was very awesome.
Which I will say, we John and I actually we rewatched the prequels fairly recently, like a couple months ago. I feel vindicated. Attack of the Clones, best one. It's really good.
Wow.
The second movie of every trilogy is the best one. Attack of the Clones is great.
You're right for 2 out of 3.
It looks like the cover, almost every frame of that movie looks like a 50s sci-fi pulp novel cover. It's great.
That's what makes it a good movie, Keith.
It's so good. I like what he's doing design-wise in it. I think
Sure.
it's great. It's got one of the best Williams scores of all time. The best theme that Williams ever wrote for Star Wars movies and Attack of the Clones.
Fuck, I love
the
that.
Anakin Padme theme.
I do.
Beautiful.
Oh, come on.
I'll have to
Look,
re-listen.
Ethan, I love Days of Heaven, but I don't love it because every shot looks like a desktop background. There's a lot more going on there.
No, I
There's
honestly,
even more going on in Attack of the Clones.
I
What is Attack
literally.
of the Clones, but Days of Heaven for millennials?
I may have not seen those movies
mean-
since the 2000s, so I may have to rewatch them.
Anakin and Padme is just like Richard Gere and.
I'm
forget her
always
name.
saying this.
Richard Gere and a gerbil?
Honestly, I think the romance in Attack of the Clones would have been better if they played it like Days of Heaven and just took most of the dialogue out. Because if you read the original script of Days of Heaven, it's 120 pages long and it's packed full of dialogue, and it's the characters all just saying what they feel.
Yeah.
And when Malik shot it, he either changed the script on the spot or he just cut it out in editing. But
You cut it out in editing.
yeah, all that dialogue is missing, and it's just the actors communicating what they feel through their eyes.
Yeah.
I think if Lucas had just done that with Attack of the Clones, and it's just Christensen and Portman just kind of looking at each other.
Yeah.
Could've
Oh
worked.
no, I need to get back to this, but it was I had started recutting the Star Wars prequels as silent films.
Oh, for fuck's
Because
sake.
no, because here's the
Another fucking re-edit of the pre.
thing. No, but this one's good. I
It's
promise.
like the fucking Zillennial rite of passage. I
Okay,
have to
but
do
yo,
my own cut of
yo,
the prequels.
yo.
I think it's funny how Ethan never went to film school and we did, yet
But
he's
no.
doing the most pretentious
But
film school.
Ethan,
But we-
Ethan is the motherfucker watching Phantom Menace and seeing the Buster Keaton homage with Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
what?
Which I will say. So
There's some general,
Jar Jar
there's
Binks
some of the
is-
general
is,
shit going on in that sequence.
How dare you?
Oh.
that's what he's
Wow,
going
dude.
for. It's not pulled off
Okay,
well, but that's definitely what he's going for.
For those of you listening, before recording, Keith compared Bullet Train to Grand Hotel.
the 1932 classic.
I'm not fucking kidding. He compared Bullet Train. I have not seen the movie. I don't have an opinion on Bullet Train, but comparing that to Grand Hotel is
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It's just bunch of actors doing what they do
Yeah.
best.
Isn't that just what?
This is a secret Buster Keaton movie. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's a secret Jerry Lewis movie. That's why the French love Jar Jar.
Who's Dean Martin in Phantom Menace?
Oh, it's clearly Boss Nass.
Yeah, no, that's that would be the only part.
Oh wait, no, scratch that. Captain Tarples. The other Gungan, the one who's tired of Jar Jar's shit.
Okay.
You
Confession.
saying big doo-doo this time.
Confession.
That guy.
I did play with those Gungan toys, and I had
Captain Tarples.
I
rocks.
had him, and he was always a mainstay.
I
was
will
always a
say,
mainstay.
weirdly, because
Captain Tarple. How the fuck do you remember that?
dude, I was deep in the trenches, man.
Oh, okay.
Did
Did you ever read the Star Wars Republic comics?
When it came to expanded universe stuff, I really weirdly wasn't huge in the comics. I was
Okay.
big into the novels and the video games.
I was big
That
into the
was my thing.
comics, and I dabbled in the video games a little. I didn't play them
Yeah.
all. I didn't.
Knights
play
of the Old Republic 1 and 2 were genuinely actually are some of the best bits of Star Wars media.
Did
Very,
either
very
of you go full crazy and read the novels as well?
No,
Oh, I read a lot of the novels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Oh,
not-
I went big into the novel. The Young Jedi Knights series about Han and Leia's kids and their Jedi's. Oh, yeah.
did you read
It's
all
like Harry
the-
Potter, but Star Wars.
God, this is just this is just the worst. It's just turned into a Star Wars conversation. How in 2022,
Oh yeah,
who
the,
the
world's
fuck-
only Star Wars podcast
Who the fuck
hosted
talks
by
about Star
several
Wars?
guys. Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you hear they're re-releasing Rogue One in theaters at the end of the month to promote Andor?
you're fucking lying.
IMAX. I'm not joking.
What?
Yeah.
Did you get in a car accident and imagine this? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I did see Rogue One on IMAX 3 times. 2 of those was for the Dunkirk prologue.
I like how you immediately
The resident
backtrack
Nolan stan here.
Well, it's like Rise of Skywalker, where it's like, look, the reason I didn't ask for a refund for that second ticket I pre-ordered was because I wanted to see the Tenet prologue again.
Yeah,
Can you blame me?
Yeah.
Rogue One was like
No,
Jurassic
can't.
World to me. I just felt empty and shallowness from it. I just could.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Rogue One. I think the
Yeah,
premise is okay,
yeah.
but it just doesn't do anything for me.
I like the idea of Rogue One. There's bits of it that I like. I think it's needed a second pass at that script, and the
reshoots
that
didn't
that
help.
lead is horribly miscast. But
Yeah, and the reshoots I don't think
Yeah.
helped. It's like
I
whose
think the-
movie is it at some point?
I think it looks good in the third act. I think kind of rips as a set piece, except for the fucking Vader hallway fight, which is embarrassing.
Yeah, I will say it is like
I love everything else about that third
production
act.
design and effects wise. Like effects wise, I thought it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
best of the new Disney Star Wars. Like that movie looked like pretty damn good.
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah.
thought.
It holds up on 4K.
Yeah,
Didn't you say there were models used in that one, or was it CG all?
No, ILM did a lot of spaceship model work.
Wow. So they made new models for it, or they refurbished old ones?
No, I want to say like it might have been the Hammerhead that was a model, or like a bunch of the Star Destroyers.
I think one of the Star Destroyers was, because it looks incredible in one of those wide shots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the way the light bounces.
Speaking of model work, y'all missed out last night. Batman Returns,
Oh,
here
impeccable
we
model
go.
work.
Oh.
Yeah. One of the greatest-
Arctic World. That one shot that just you see every nook and cranny.
Do you like the Stan Winston penguins like wobbling around?
I love
fucking
it.
love
I
that.
love every second of that.
I love that was like the peak of special effects in '92. It was like, we're gonna get a fat penguin to sort of walk. Like, I love it. No, I'm not genuinely shitting on it. Like, I think it's just adorable. It's cute.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it works for the movie.
I think a great couple's costume
Oh, for far.
would be Penguin and Catwoman.
Yeah, we are seeing so much into your life right now.
So it's like the podcaster and his goth GF.
Absolutely.
Keith,
No, I just remember
Come
fucking
down and Red Scare be like,
Museum of Modern Art. Or
Dasha wouldn't be awesome enough to do Catwoman.
no, fuck no.
Museum of Modern Art. That's the one we got, right?
what do you
No,
mean?
we have the
Museum
MFA.
of Fine Art.
MoMA is in New York.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
we have fine art. Those dirty New
We got the
Yorkers.
better one, goddamn
Yeah,
it.
well,
These
they don't
fucking
play
New
movies
Yorkers,
anymore, so
you
they
get-
don't
Dude,
matter.
another little Des story. Whoa, was I disappointed going there on a field trip with no dinosaurs. Holy fuck. I thought there were at least going to be like pictures and paintings of dinosaurs.
Did
but
you mean to go to the Museum of Science by mistake?
Okay, when I was 6 years old,
That has some great dinosaurs.
Oh,
Museum
yeah.
of Science has a very small dinosaur collection.
Do they still have the
yeah, but
mask?
it's got that awesome T-Rex.
It does have the
in the
big.
main
It does have the
lobby,
big
like-
T-Rex.
Do,
which-
Yeah,
do they
love
still
that-
have the
the-
mask covering the fucking T-Rex outside now?
No, oh, I hope not. The classic T-Rex. Yeah, they
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that to
That's
him.
what I love. They got.
They
what
shouldn't have done that to my boy.
They shouldn't have done that
what
to
I
my,
really
my
love
Rex.
is I was the first time, like I went a couple years without going to the Museum of Science, and I was really worried that first time I went after since like high school. I was really worried that I'm like, because yeah, it's got that cool fuck off T-Rex outside, like
Yeah,
out front.
the
And
classic
it's got
T-Rex.
that awesome, even bigger one, like inside.
The more modern one for 2001. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was really worried. I was like, I hope they didn't put fucking feathers on those, and they didn't.
Oh,
It's still
boy.
lizard.
Here we go. Well, did you
The
see
T-Rex, I don't care what the scientists say, all right? It's fake news. The T-Rex was a big lizard, and
It
he was my
not,
friend.
It was not a big lizard. Did you see? There is a new Triceratops skeleton, I think.
Oh, there
Since-
is.
With
since-
feathers?
No.
That's my favorite dinosaur when I was a kid. I was a Triceratops guy.
You're like, why would they put feathers on a skeleton?
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. Wow, you totally read my. I thought Keith was literally like, oh, put the feathers on the skeleton with no skin or
Desmond's
muscle.
just like opening a pillow above the T-Rex and just like shaking feathers on it.
Yeah.
There,
no.
put fucking feathers on her. Are you happy?
At the moment, it doesn't look like Tyrannosaurus
Somebody
Rex had
does like a
feathers.
whole cartoon bit, and they
'Cause
do
we-
like black tar.
Yeah, Desmond's
Oh my
like,
God! You're gonna tar and feather a dinosaur, Keith? Jesus
Desmond's like,
Christ.
dinosaurs had feathers, and the museum employees are like, there he is again.
No, there's nothing wrong with dinosaurs having feathers. You guys gotta grow
There's a
up.
lot wrong with
No,
it.
there's
It's,
not.
They were
Do you want-
big
do you want-
lizards, and they were my friends.
They're not big lizards.
Okay,
First
Colin
off.
Trevorrow.
No, they're not your friends. One, and they're not big lizards.
I could reason with a velociraptor.
No, you
it would
couldn't.
Be easy for
you
me.
couldn't put your hand up and make a velociraptor.
By this
stop.
extension,
I give him a
Godzilla,
brewski.
Emmerich Godzilla is
What?
Ethan's favorite.
Oh no, fuck no. No, it's awful. It's dog shit.
Yeah.
I
No, bad.
rewatched the Emmerich Godzilla recently, and like people love to rag on the visual effects in that movie, but
No, some of them hold up.
no, watching it again, like it's not like just like the types of effects they use. It's like the entire design of that movie is very, very smart. Like the way they show Godzilla and like just where they place the camera and like
Yeah.
how they use miniatures and CG. It's like
Oh, it's very well done.
Some
I
of
just
the
don't like.
CG is rough because it's like
He's
shot
too
kind of
small.
weird, but there is some really creative stuff because they have kind of like big puppets, almost like Bigature style puppets for
Yes.
close-ups, and
Yeah.
there is some creativity. I actually really dig the Velociraptor Godzillas and the French mercenaries fighting them inside the stadium. I like that. I'm sorry.
It's,
Oh,
I
I'm
like
not
the
getting.
whole
it wasn't-
build-up. I like the build-up.
I'm not getting
of
any
Godzilla.
support on
Like,
that
you
one.
Look, if
I
it wasn't
will say-
called Godzilla, I'd be fine. But I'm just
Okay,
like
James Rolfe.
he's
Here we
too
go.
fucking small. Like,
no.
Yeah, I know.
I will say if that Emmerich Zilla movie opened with the Toho logo and all the dialogue was in Japanese, people would have accepted it because if you watch those like
That is a bold take.
if you
Yeah, I
watch
don't know
those
if I'm with you
if
there.
you watch those late 90s early 2000s like Toho Godzilla movies, some of them are so crazy that you watch like the Roland Emmerich Zilla and you're like, no, this is pretty grounded actually.
GMK is
Well,
amazing.
Okay, I will.
Oh,
okay,
JFK's
to,
fucking-
to,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
back you a little bit, there's that one Godzilla versus Megagyrus.
Mega Gyrus. Yeah.
Megagyrus?
That's part of the Kiru series, right?
No, the Millennium series.
No, but Kiru was like a mini series in the Millennium series where there were two that had continuity with each other.
Yeah, I think so. And
Why
that
are
one-
you laughing, John? Why are you laughing
No,
at
I-
that?
No, I realized that Emmerich Godzilla, like when you compare that to like Final Wars, it's like.
Yo, Final Wars doesn't look. I haven't seen it, but it doesn't look like.
But
my
like,
jam.
can you imagine if Emmerich like,
I like Final
in
Wars.
his
I think it's kind of good.
can you imagine
Really?
I like it.
Can you imagine if in Emmerich's Godzilla movie he had like Matrix guys doing like fights and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
People would have rioted in the streets.
Well, there was no Matrix at that point. 'cause it
Counterpoint:
was
that movie
98.
would have rocked way
Exactly.
more.
Ah,
Replace replace Matthew Broderick with guys doing Matrix stunts. That movie would have owned. Like,
but you have the French mercenaries doing cool stuff. They're eating
That stuff's
donuts
cool.
But,
and
like,
drinking coffee, and they're
dude,
complaining
I
about
will
the
say,
coffee.
I like the opening of that Godzilla movie where
Oh,
the guys on
no.
the boat.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
that
the-
shit's cool.
the interview-
Jean Reno's cool.
The interview with the
And then
survivor.
Broderick comes in and
Yeah,
it's
no,
bad.
I think that movie has great build up because it
yeah,
has that
great
classic,
build up.
that
Yeah.
classic like '90s military, like we're on a mission and
Yeah.
we're finding the footprint. They're like, yeah, you're standing in it, you know. With
Like
the
if the
footprint.
whole movie was like that, I'd dig the hell out of that
Yeah,
thing.
and
But,
it is
yeah.
pretty great when there's the survivor and he's just going Gojira,
Yeah.
and there's like the little flame in front of him. Like,
Oh, that-
it's
that
almost
part's
like
awesome.
it's
Yeah.
almost like a real movie at the beginning. You know, it's like
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
movie.
That's my big problem with it. Honestly, I can forgive a lot. I can forgive Godzilla being so fucking small. I can forgive
You
a
know,
lot of that. My big problem
What's
is
your
is
hang up on the size there? Yeah, I mean, come on.
Godzilla's he's a big guy.
Size does matter.
Size does matter, you know.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
the
Heard
tagline?
Yeah,
Heard
where's
the
the
tagline of the
tagline?
movie.
Used on every Taco Bell bag in 1998.
Yeah, like it's like
Do you know that at the Taco Bell drive-thru they actually gave
That
you
was
a
a way
free
Homer.
Puff Daddy CD?
No, yeah, the Taco Bell went hardcore on the Godzilla '98
Yeah.
marketing. And
I
a
just
lot.
wanted a commercial where Godzilla stomped on that dog.
Well, he stomped on a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton, which was a shot across the bow for some of us.
Could
Yeah.
you get away with that today?
What, stepping on a T-Rex skeleton? It's not real. It was a special effect.
No, but just
no, that
like,
was the last T-Rex. They killed it.
but just kind of like ragging on another franchise and saying like, oh, you think this is good? Like I'm bigger and
I
better.
think the corporations at this point are so like gloves on with each other that
We
that
love
doesn't really-
synergy. It's all about moving
Yeah,
units.
yeah. I don't think that happens anymore. Like friendly competition isn't really as much a thing.
The next trailer for the DC movie is them just like executing
Oh my
characters.
what the fuck? Are you
Yeah,
talking
the
about?
next Batman movie should the first trailer should just be Robert Pattinson shooting Chris Evans in the head.
Yeah, are you talking about like an ISIS video?
It's shot on a camcorder. They have bags over their heads and AK-47s.
There's like shitty audio. It's like all humming. Oh no!
America, we are gonna cut off your head and send
Yeah.
to a
And they could
No, that,
defend it.
Ezra Miller would do that.
Oh yeah.
They defend it as a homage to Iron Man 1, which had Tony Stark in a cave held by terrorists, which will never happen in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's funny to think that that the MCU starts with Tony Stark getting like Al Qaeda kidnapped.
Yeah, Iron Man could never happen because because one, there's terrorists and
Yeah.
like fucking violence. And
Oh, yeah.
Tony Stark pulls a fucking surgical tube out of his nose and like
Oh, yeah.
all this gore. He's also sleeping with women, like just
Oh, yeah.
casually and like using them. Like it's like all these adults things that like now if they were in a Marvel movie they'd like
Oh my
make
God,
such
yeah.
a big stink. You know,
Well,
people
well,
would
you
Like the
freak out.
MCU peaked with the best movie they have ever done is the first Captain America, and they will never make a movie
I
like
think
that
the
ever
first
again.
Avengers is the peak in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Do you know in,
I'm Johnston pilled here.
in the
Yeah.
first Iron Man, it's actually canon. Like that's the last time people have sex in an MCU movie.
Yeah.
Like in the MCU canon, nobody in that universe had sex after
No.
2008.
Oh no, because fucking Captain America's a prequel. You're right.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a clip going around from the
No,
She-Hulk show?
Guardians of the Galaxy. He's got an alien in his spaceship at the beginning.
I refuse to believe Chris Pratt can have sex.
Well, I mean, he is playing a character, John.
No, but I just mean like both in the character and in real life.
All right. Well,
It is kind of hilarious how sexless the Marvel films are.
Well, they kinda-
However,
Michael Rooker now that if it was
Yondu,
him that's
Yondu.
yeah, that dude.
however, there's a clip going around for She-Hulk where
Oh boy.
Mark
Oh, boy.
Ruffalo and She-Hulk both mock Steve Rogers for being a virgin.
What? He totally slept with.
Their theory that they're saying in the clip is that like he never had sex before Peggy,
Didn't he sleep
so
with
he
like?
froze himself
didn't he
before
s-
he had sex.
Didn't he sleep with Natalie Dormer and that pissed off Haley Atwell or whatever?
I don't remember. Joe Johnston fan? Did that happen?
Yeah, no, it was he didn't sleep with her. It was like she was hitting on him, and then like Haley Atwell like saw from a distance and was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's got a thing for Natalie Dormer."
That's a 40s movie, so it's ensued. So by 40s movie standards.
Exactly,
That's
'cause-
what they used to
Yeah.
call pillow talk.
yeah. By
yeah.
40s movie standards, I think they slept together.
Okay.
If
that was the last like great Marvel movie. That one's so.
I
good.
mean, in the 40s, if you looked into somebody's eyes for longer than 3 seconds, that counted as sex.
Pretty much. No, I love the opening to Captain America, where you got the Hugo Weaving. He's just like, while Zafira looks for trinkets in the desert, I have true power. It's like, what a great nod to Raiders and just like setting the tone perfectly.
Oh, it's
and
so good. Like that's the thing is like Joe Johnston is the exact type of dude they should like just regularly get. It's like
Yeah.
because I don't want to see auteurs make Marvel movies because I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna waste years of your life making 2/3 of a Raimi movie, you know, like, and I don't want to see like Sundance hacks who have made like one movie make them because I'm like, this is just gonna look like dog shit. It's like, nah, just get like a Joe Johnston. Ron Howard should be making Marvel movies.
Yeah, Ron
Like,
Howard, but
Yeah,
there's not.
but
There's not
Yeah.
a
There's
lot of-
also
just like-
Solo.
there's also
Solo's
Solo.
not terrible.
Oh my god.
Honestly, Solo's kind of fun.
Bro, come on. The
Like,
only
Alden
great-
Ehrenreich is fantastic in that.
The only
thing.
Okay,
great-
I'll give you that.
Yeah, no.
He
He's
does a good job with a thankless role.
He is not
Yeah.
the reason the film failed. The only great thing about that film, in my opinion,
And I'm not saying it's great. It's more just like I'm like, oh, this is
Well,
just a classic
the only-
little like Ron Howard like carpentry job.
the only
It's great.
thing that's
Yeah.
great is the only thing I remember is that like giant snake puppet at the beginning talking to Han Solo.
Yeah,
She's like the godfather of the planet. Like that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's great.
Yeah,
think
you know,
that's
you
just
had like
fun.
a shaft of light so you could actually see what was going on in that
The
scene.
projection was pretty poor in my theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't really see much as well.
I will say, seeing it on 4K, like, Bradford Young, good cinematographer.
Yeah.
I hate that he's in cinematographer jail, I guess, from that movie, but
Well, I don't know. What was the story with that movie? It was just projected poorly, or
it was projected poorly on a lot of cases. It's like
Is that
no,
a
it's-
bow?
Yeah, it's melted, so I gotta.
Are bows supposed to not be frozen?
This is a frozen one.
Oh,
with,
wow.
yeah, no. The story, as I understand, with Solo is Bradford Young likes to shoot extremely dim images, and with like DIs and stuff and like digital tools, you can get extremely precise mastering.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people today figure that if I can in like my professional DI suite, if I can see an image that dim, then I can put it out to all these theaters that show DCPs and it will work. But what nobody takes into account is most theaters that show DCPs, like, they don't keep the bulbs up, they leave 3D lenses on.
Yeah.
And if you're working with an extremely dim image that requires like perfect projection to be viewable, there's not going to be a level of quality there when it gets sent to the theaters with
Yeah.
poor projectors.
Yeah, it is a crapshoot because so many multiplexes adopted really early digital projectors, and they're just not. They're dying. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not well maintained, and they're also getting old. And
They're sold at like a false bill of goods too, because a lot of
Yes,
like
yes.
a lot of cases they're like, oh no, these things are gonna last you like 30 years, and then now we're finding out it's like, dude, these things last 10 if you're lucky.
yeah, it's like first generation technology, and
Yeah.
like hasn't been well maintained. Is like recipe for disaster. Just go to Assembly Row and don't go to the Dolby.
Yeah. And because a lot of them
Yeah.
are automatic, it's like, oh, like most most multiplex chains have just
Yeah.
are like, yeah, we just kind of fired our projectionists.
Yeah.
Like we don't have that's not position anymore.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they should have gone back to like the early 1900s with digital, where like
Okay.
like
I'm
digital
dying to see where this is
Yeah.
going.
where like the first digital projectors were just hand crank, and like you would just hand crank it to cycle through the JPEGs that you would load in for the DCPs.
Oh, okay. This is
Oh.
bullshit. Okay.
So no, like seriously. So we're like, you didn't have to worry about like all these like weird QC issues or like sound or anything. It's like
you
you
keep
just
projectionists on staff, like
you just
Yeah.
start off with picture. You give them more jobs because they have to hand crank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get some exercise.
Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
Avatar, you'd have to hire like multiple like projectionists.
Yeah, it'd be like
to-
it'd be like the galley of a Roman warship. Just like all these fucking like Ben-Hur
Just
people.
walk up to the projection booth. It's the middle of summer. They're all sweating.
Yeah,
so
it's just
bad.
it's just-
Valpius, you need to start on reel 3.
I
James-
thought
James
digital was
Cam-
gonna make things easier.
James Cameron's
They're
in the
all
back eating
fucking
the
jacked.
drums.
It's just like a bunch of Woody Strodes and Charlton Heston's up there like going ham.
James Cameron's like, make them go faster.
Oh yeah, James Cameron wants to make the
bum,
frame rate
bum,
different,
bum,
so he
bum.
makes them go
48 frames.
Ang Lee comes in for Gemini Man with like, I brought in my own team of projectionists. They're all like fucking 10 times the size of the Rock.
Oh yeah.
Projectionists be like, oh shit, there's a new Peter Jackson movie.
Yeah.
They try to do like the
Grabs a
120 frame
barbell.
version.
No, Peter Jackson just brings in a bunch of Maori warriors to project his films. Oh,
Fucking
dude.
covered in tats.
Yeah, no, John, I support this idea now that it's bringing back.
Oh, this idea is so based. Yeah, no, I'm here.
because it's gonna help. It's gonna give people jobs, and it will get people in shape. The problem is it could become slavery very quickly, and that would be that would be a problem for me at least.
You're saying the film
and we
industry
could
has a
strip them
problem
into
with
the
labor?
theater's private army, and
Why I oughta.
Yeah, no, that would be
and we sent them to cross the Rubicon and get paid in gold.
What's the new version?
The
When, like,
AMC projectionists have taken a ship to France. Something about subduing the Gauls.
Projection booths are now battlefields.
Yeah. Yeah, no, AMC would try to be Rome, but they can't because they're too... No, AMC would definitely be Greece because they think they're the greatest, but they're incredibly dysfunctional.
Oh yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
make movies better.
Yeah, Rome doesn't... Rome is... We don't know who would Rome... Rome
Would be a dark horse that slowly rises
Yes,
in a way you don't
yes.
expect. Rome would be Patriot Cinemas.
And because Rome starts off small and then becomes the biggest. So
Yeah.
Alamo would be Carthage. A lot of money, a
yeah.
lot of fanciness, but they got a lot of issues, especially in
Who
terms...
would be deluxe?
Deluxe would be maybe like Ptolemaic Egypt or the Seleucid Empire. I mean, there are only a
I was
few.
not expecting you to bust out Ptolemaic Egypt. Yeah, wow.
Well, that's a contemporary.
No, it is. Yeah, just
Nice and fancy.
Keith, do you know what
expected that.
Ptolemaic Egypt was?
No.
Do you want to know?
Sure, go. Well, let's do a
So,
little history.
so after Alexander the Great died, legend says that on his deathbed he said, they said to him, who's going to take the empire? And Alexander, this is a legend. We don't know if it's true. It's probably not. But the legend goes
no,
that
it's true. I saw it.
Okay, but Alexander said to his generals, who gets my empire to the strongest? And that prompted the Diadochi Wars, which was basically all the commanders of Alexander's army, former army, breaking off into splinter kingdoms and fighting over his empire. So Ptolemaic Egypt was this guy named Ptolemy, who was one of his commanders, who basically took Egypt and created basically a version of Egypt where the ruling class were all Greeks, and it was sort of like a colony, but the Greeks became Egyptianized over time as well. But that's Ptolemaic Egypt. It was a
nice and
Greco-fied Egypt
Ah,
of the Roman era,
Oh yeah.
which lasted for a while.
deluxe is pretty Grekified.
Yeah, I agree. I really get a Egyptian Greek vibe in those theaters.
Especially the one in Lowell.
Really? Oh, all right. Lowell,
If anyway, Lowell is the Cairo of Massachusetts.
Lowell may be like the least Mediterranean place on the planet. I think Lowell it does not have that vibe
You bring
at
a
all.
tomato there and it withers and dies.
it just is destroyed.
It's nothing but salt.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah. So, this
it's getting
this
late.
has been an episode. This was I guess the kind of pilots for
Yeah.
the After Midnight podcast.
Something-
Adios.
Something that can be done.
We
Keith,
did it.
You know how to
Yeah.
close an episode, Keith. You're a man of great words.
Wolfman Jack over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you and good night.